Hey everybody, Barker here from Be a Better Game Master. I have a 5-minute frenzy for you today that is associated with a supplement that I've just released on AbsoluteTabletop.com. It's called Be a Better Faction Master. It's all about factions and organizations, and that's what this video right now is about as well. Now, if you don't have the supplement, don't worry. You can still use the information in this video to inspire you to run cooler games, run awesome factions. If you do have the supplement, thank you so much, and I think you will find that this video is kind of a complement to that supplement. So without further ado, let's get started. We all kind of know how to make a basic faction and organization, and if you don't, that's fine. The basic tenets are a faction needs a name, okay, a cool name. I love cool, simple names because I love it when my players remember the name of the faction and I don't have to keep reminding them of the name. So, like my factions, the Winds, the Octaves, really basic names for them to remember. Also, a leader, right? A faction needs a cool leader to represent it. Also, maybe perhaps a motto. A faction could have like a saying, like, oh gosh, winter is coming. Boom, Game of Thrones reference. What? Or the Reebok King sucks. Haha. Heyo. Also, a faction can use a symbol, right? Cool symbols to represent what the faction does. So if a faction is like a messenger guild, they send all the messages around the kingdom, then their sigil, their seal, their symbol might be like a dove or a crow or whatever bird they use to send messages, holding a sealed envelope or a sealed scroll. If you have a group of rangers, then they're all experts in not two-handed, but two-weapon fighting, right? They all use dual swords. That's what they're known for. Their symbol might be two crossed katanas. And lastly, a faction needs a purpose. There needs to be a reason for a faction to exist. Like the Messenger Guild. Their reason for existing is because they get the messages all over the kingdom. Maybe those rangers who each have two katanas, maybe they are like an assassin's guild, hunting down, rival guild leaders or something cool like that. But, and this kind of ties into what I just said, but I want to take it a step further, and I want to do something with factions in a game that involves taking a faction's name, taking their symbol, and maybe even their motto, and creating physical manifestations of those things in the game. What I mean by that is this. Let's say you have a faction called the Crimson Crowns, and they are like a banking clan. And they have a lot of gold, and they mint the gold into currency. And on the gold piece, perhaps, on the gold pieces in this region, the characters will see a crown, maybe even a crimson one. And they'll know, the Crimson Crowns made this gold piece. Maybe the banking clan's leader wears a crown that's red, that's crimson. Let's go back to the silver swords, right? This group of rangers that commits assassinations around the realm, and they do so with their two katanas. Anytime you see a person that has two katanas on them, they're part of the Silver Swords. See, what I'm doing here is I'm linking a physical thing in the world to a faction, to an idea, right? You can do this with a lot of different things, but factions, it works really well. Here's another example. Physical manifestation in a world if we're talking about a faction, is this. Let's take a faction of an adventurers guild. Okay, we have an adventurers guild. What do? They go adventuring. They go into the wilds. They go into the forest and they just rough it for like 2 weeks. That's what they do. They look for cool stuff. They're doing it for the gold, for the life, for the love of it. What are they going to look at? What is their physical appearance going to reflect from their being in the adventurers guild? What are they going to smell like after being in the weeds for 2 weeks? What are their goals going to be? What are they going to say? That's a physical manifestation too, what someone in a faction says. Maybe they'll say something like, hey, you hear of any new cool places to go? Hey, did you hear about those wildlands over there? Yeah, we're going to go check it out. Don't tell anybody, though, because we want to find it first. So, how to not only tell your players what a faction is about, but show them what a faction is about using these physical manifestations. Lastly, another example. Let's go to the messenger guild that uses doves to send letters throughout the entire realm. Right? We'll say that their symbol is that it's a dove carrying a sealed envelope or a sealed scroll. And you walk into their throne room, into their base of operations, and there are just doves everywhere. Everywhere. And all of these doves are used to send messages around the kingdom. So now the characters aren't just, or the players, you're not just telling the players that this is what the faction does. The players just walked into this, guild hall, and they're looking around and they're seeing what this faction does. So, in the comments below, I want you to think of a faction name. I want you to give me like a one-sentence description of what that faction does, and I want you to tell me how you would physically show what that faction does in the world. What physical manifestation you'd put in your world to remind your players, hey, look, that person over there, they're in that faction. They're a silver sword. Don't mess with them. They're part of the Reebok King. Boom. The Nike General. I need to stop throwing it back. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed Be a Better Faction Master on AbsoluteTabletop.com. Check it out. It actually might be pay what you want currently. So thank you very much as always. Double tap, peace, and let's build some better factions. Later.